In this video, we're going to look at how to solve simultaneous equations using the elimination method. So I've got my set of simultaneous equations, okay? That means that the value of x is the same for both of them and the value of y is the same for both of them, okay? Now, when we use the elimination method, we want to get rid of one of the unknowns because right now, each equation has two unknowns, okay? So I want to get rid of one, so I have only one unknown. Now, notice that both of them have 7y, okay? And this is the unknown I'm going to get rid of. So I can do that by subtracting, because 7y take away 7y is 0, okay? So I'm going to take away those two equations. So I'm going to take away each part of the equation. So 5x take away 3x, that is 2x, okay? 7y take away 7y is 0, so this is how we get rid of the unknown. And then 9 take away 11 is negative 2. So now to find the value of x, we need to divide both sides by 2, so the value of x is negative 1. Now that we have the value of x, we can just choose one of the equations, it doesn't really matter which one, substitute the value of x and work out the value of y. So I'm going to choose the first equation, okay, and that is 5x plus 7y equals 9. So this is the equation I'm going to use to substitute the value of x into. So that is 5 times negative 1 plus 7y equals 9. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Add 7y equals 9. Now I want to get rid of this, so I need to do the opposite, which is adding 5. So 7y equals 14. And now to find the value of y, I need to divide both sides by 7, so y equals 2. So I've got the value of x, and I have also the value of y. Let's have a look at another example. Okay, again, I want to get rid of one of the unknown, and the one that I'm going to get rid of is this one here. Okay, now notice that I choose the one that has the same number. In the previous example, it was the same number in front of y, and now again I have the same number in front of y. However, in the first equation, I've got negative 4y. In the second equation, I've got positive 4y. So when you think about it, if I subtract the two equations like I did before, I will not get rid of the unknown, okay, because negative 4 take away 4 is negative 8, and this is not what I want. I want to get 0. So this time, okay, I want to add the two equations to make sure that that unknown disappears. Now there is this that we use to remember whether you want to add the two equations or subtract the two equations, okay? And it simply means different, add, same, subtract. Okay, so in my equation, I've got different symbols. In the first equation, I've got minus 4y, and then the second equation, I've got add 4y. So I've got different symbols, so I need to add the two equations to make sure that that unknown disappears. Okay, so I'm going to add the two equations now. So 6x plus 4x is 10x. Then negative 4y add 4y is 0. Okay, and then 21 add 24 is 45. Okay, so x equals 4.5. Now, just like before, I'm going to use one of the equations and substitute the value of x into it to find the value of y. So I'm going to again use the first one, okay, and that is 6 times 4.1 take away 4y equals 21. Now 27 take away 4y equals 21. Now we take away 27 from both sides. Okay, so that's negative 4y equals negative 6. Now we divide both sides by negative 4 and y equals 1.5. Okay, another example. Now notice that I don't have the same number either in front of x's or y. So I need to make them the same. Okay, so what I can do, because right now I have 4x, 3x, and then 1y, or simply y, and then 2y. So I want to have the same coefficient, okay, we call it, in front of at least one of the unknowns. So either before in front of x's or before y's. So I can actually get that by multiplying, for example, the first equation by 2. Okay, so if I do that, then I'm going to get 2y, and then I have 2y in the second equation as well. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 2. So then 4x times 2 is 8x, then y times 2 is 2y, and 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, so this was my first equation. Now, okay, I've got the same coefficient in front of y, and remember that's, okay, different, add, same, subtract. I've got add 2y, add 2y. So if it's the same, I need to subtract the two equations to make sure that I get rid of one of the unknowns. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite the second equation so it's a little bit easier. Okay, so now I've got to subtract. So 8x take away 3x is 5x, 2y take away 2y is 0, and then 14 take away 9 is 5. So x equals 1. And now I can use that value and substitute it in one of the equations, and it doesn't really matter whether you choose the original one or the one when you multiplied by 2, you will still get the same answer. You could choose the second one as well. So that is 4 times 1 plus y equals 7, 4 plus y equals 7, so y equals 3. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, again, the numbers in front of unknowns are all different. Okay, I have 4x and then 5x, and I have negative 2y and then positive 3y. Okay, so this time to make those coefficients the same, I have to multiply both equations by something. Okay, I'm going to choose, okay, to multiply the first equation by 3 and then the second equation by 2. Okay, now you can decide whether you want to make the x coefficient the same or the y coefficient the same, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, so if I multiply the first equation, okay, by 3, this is what I'm going to get. So 4x plus 3, that's 12x, then take away 6y equals 12. Okay, so I multiplied the first equation by 3. Now the second equation, I need to times it by 2. Okay, so that's going to be 10x plus 6y equals 32. So now you see that I've got, okay, negative 6y and then positive 6y. Okay, the number is the same. Now the symbols are different. That means I have to add the two equations to make sure that I get rid of one of the unknowns. Okay, so now 12x plus 10x is 22x equals 44. Now we divide both sides by 22. The value of x is 2. Okay, now I can use the first equation and substitute the value of x into it. So that's 4 times 2. Take away 2y equals 4. 8 take away 2y equals 4. I take away 8 from both sides. Negative 2y equals negative 4. Then divide by negative 2 and y equals positive